The basic process here is going to be very simple. We're going to take our mangoes, we're going to de-pit those mangoes, and then we're going to ferment them with some honey. It's pretty simple. Okay, so here's the recipe. Number 1, 6 pounds of Altaulfo or yellow mangoes. These are not the traditional giant red-green ones, okay, that look better. And these kind of mangoes, the yellow mangoes, are better in terms of flavor and sweetness. Number 2, enough wildflower honey to reach a starting gravity of 1.09. If you have some orange blossom honey on your hands, that would be an even better honey to use, but I don't have any. Number 3, 1 gallon of spring water, okay? This stuff just tastes the best. Number 4, we will be using Lalvin QA23 yeast. I just bought it, so I'm excited to see what it does. We're gonna experiment with it.
And as always, everything is sanitized with Star San Sanitizer.
All right, you gotta prep the fruit. It's at this point that I realized I don't know how to de-pit a mango. Okay, so the basic process I came up with here is you cut it all the way across and then you basically twist it off of the pit, all right? Just do whatever you gotta do to get rid of the pit without wasting too much of that meat, that good fruit stuff, okay? All right. All right, I got a little bit of mango on me. That's gonna happen when you make mango mead. These are pitted, they're ready to ferment. It's messy, but it's worth it. We're using a 1.5 gallon wide mouth fermenter. Okay, there's a link in the description if you wanna get one of these. Now, I actually had to pour it all into a 2-gallon bucket about a day into fermentation because the airlock kept blowing off. So if you use this, just make sure to give yourself enough headspace. Will you, Ashley?
Mash, the mango mash.
Okay, so we're gonna be using a brewing bag, okay? We're gonna put all of the mangoes in there. That's so that when this is done fermenting, we can just pull out all those mangoes, drain out the little bit of wine that's left, and throw them away. You know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so put it into your fermenter, opening at the top. And now we're gonna put the mangoes in here. Sure. Okay, and then Ashley, I want you to just get in there and you gotta mash it up, okay? We wanna juice them essentially without actually using a juicer because we're gonna ferment them on the pulp, on the skins, we're using all of it. Now that it's all mashed up, we're gonna add water. What water are we using today, Ashley?
The wonderful, best water ever, Crystal Geyser.
If I had Arrowhead water in particular, that's the best, but Walmart didn't have Arrowhead. It's a gallon of water, and there's some juice from those mangoes, so we're gonna end with a little more than a gallon of total liquid. All right, so it's only at 1.006, which I figured. Given that gravity reading, we're gonna add 2.5 pounds to start. Take honey and pour in. What do you call a cow jumping over a barbed wire fence? Utter destruction.
Oh.
It's sitting at about 1.084. I'm fine with that. No more honey needed. Okay. What's that, Ashley?
Oh, pectic enzyme.
So we have to add pectic enzyme to this because the fibrous stuff in fruit that holds it together is known as pectin. Pectin is perfectly fine in a fruit, but in your mead, it might create a haze if you don't put in pectic enzyme to break that pectin down. You knew that, right?
I did know that.
Uh-huh. It is half a teaspoon per gallon of must. Now, in my efforts to make better and better mead and wine, I have expanded my knowledge of yeast nutrition. I recommend going the full route of TOSNA, Tailored Organic Staggered Nutrient Additions. What it means is using GoFirm and Fermade O as the nutrients for your yeast. Okay, you add your yeast nutrients at several iterations over a week, not all at once at the front end, which can cause spikes in fermentation temperature, production of off flavors, and so on. If you're gonna use TOSNA, you need to get a gram scale, okay? It's almost impossible to weigh out 1.25 grams without one. So get one, and then do it.
Oh, beautiful.
It's really helpful to use a mason jar for your rehydration stuff. You get your water, your GoFirm, and your yeast in here. You just shake it up a little bit, get it all homogeneous, and then let it sit. I got the idea for using mason jars in homebrew for things like this from doing the most. So thank you, doing the most. You've been very helpful in helping me to refine my craft.
Yes.
I think it's been enough time.
It's not been 20 minutes.
It hasn't? Okay. While we wait for our yeast to rehydrate, we're going to play 20 questions. Okay, and if you don't know what that is, you live under a rock. Okay, I got it.
Is there one in this room?
Yes.
Is it used in the kitchen?
Yes.
Is it an ingredient?
Yeah. You're at 14, babe. And there's only so many things we used in
Is
this
it a
wine.
mango?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
Is it a mammal?
Yes.
Is it a bird?
No.
Shit. I don't know if I can beat 15 now. Does it weigh more than people?
Yes.
Is it a beaver?
No. You asked if it was bigger than people.
Oh shit, take it back. Can I have a hint?
But I don't know if you believe in them.
Is it an elf?
An elf is a person.
I don't believe in them. Is this like an article of science that I'm just doubting? Like the existence of hedgehogs?
No, like think of animals that people, it's like you either believe in them or you don't.
What the f? That wasn't helpful at all. Now I'm thinking like...
They're big animals. They walk on two legs. They live in the forest.
Oh. Is this a Sasquatch?
Yes! Do you believe in Sasquatch?
No, because I'm a rational person.
I've seen Sasquatch.
Cool.
Put your answers in the comments on whether you believe Bigfoot is real or not. Or Sasquatch.
Okay.
Whatever you call it.
You have a place here on the channel if you do, but it's just a lower place than everyone else.
It looks like chocolate milk.
I've got my freshly sanitized bung and airlock, and you just put them in. So what can you expect over the course of the fermentation here? Well, number one, after 2 to 48 hours, you should expect to see activity in the airlock, okay? All of the sanitizer water will be pushed over into this other quadrant, and you'll see a bloop, 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 bloop of CO2. That means your yeast are alive and actively fermenting.
The second thing we can expect from this mead is the production of Kreuzen foam at the top.
What that means is there's going to be a lot of foam in that little bit of air we left in here. It's yeast that take root at the surface of your wine and start foaming up. So make sure to leave a lot of headspace. The third thing, expect lots of sediment to build up here at the bottom as this sits and ferments over the course of a month, okay? Expect the whole primary fermentation to take about 2 to 4 weeks. Well, thanks Ashley for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me again, Miles.
Thanks for watching. Like this video, comment on it with anything that pops into your head.
Whether you believe in Sasquatch or not.
And subscribe to the channel. But in the meantime, watch my other videos, take care, and have a great day. Bye-bye. And then I can calculate how much... And then I can calculate so it won't reflect light anymore. So if you want a... So if you go for the Altura... Alfura?
Alfonso.
No. God damn it.
Alforno.
Our recipe today is 6 pounds of Altura...